Hello and welcome, each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daika, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre. Also, I'm true speaker, healer, energy worker, guide, mentor, co-creator, and galactic ambassador from Pleiadian. With me today is two lovely ladies, Morganne Rayne, spiritual consultant, gratefully providing access to high dimensions of being. Morganne has been called healer of healers as a way to describe her unique spiritual tools she shares. Morganne is here to serve those who seek great understanding of their sacred spiritual self, have the deep desire to integrate that consciousness in their 3D world. And with us as well is Jeannie Rayne, licensed psychotherapist in state of Washington, works primarily with early childhood trauma, sexual abuse, and emotional neglect, helping clients empower themselves. Jeannie sees herself as lifetime student of growth. She continually takes classes to enhance her knowledge base. So please remember, if you or your family or friends are interested in personal therapy and healing, you can reach out to Morgan, Jeannie, or myself for private sessions. All contact details are in description below the video. If you like what I do, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channels. So, hello, 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 my two lovely ladies. Thank you for being here. How you both are?
Good. Really good.
I'm good. It's a crazy time for me, but a lot of people needing Morgan energy, which is fine, right? It's learning to take care of myself at this point, and making sure that I have what I need so that I can be of service to others. So really, that's just it's what's going on, and a lot of people need a lot of help right now, at least in my sphere. And I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this, and maybe you are, but when we're in service to others, we have to really balance that because just being in that consciousness of I'm in service to others, people will gravitate to you. And so there's that fine point of get being balanced um, and it was. Okay, I want to. Can I start with a crazy story that happened last
Of
night?
course.
Okay, I've already told Jeannie this story, but my neighbor came home from the hospital, and she really shouldn't have been released, I think, but whatever. She's upstairs and she can't ambulate very well, and she really needed to go to the bathroom, and that she didn't have the what she needed to do that, right? And so I go up and I go, "Oh my God, don't you have a bedside toilet?" No. So I go, "Okay, I'm going to go find one." So, and it's dark outside. So I proceed, and I think I'm going to this drugstore that I've known has always been on this one corner down in a town. I don't go to town very much. That's probably my problem. I didn't know they closed it like a year ago. It was like there's nothing there. So I'm sitting in an empty parking lot with a building with a chain link fence all around it, going, okay, where do I go? So I just stop and think, and I recall another place that might have it. I call them, no, they don't have one. And I'm like committed now. I got to find this bedside commode. And I'm like I'm on a mission, right? And so I take off out of that parking lot, and then I had an idea about another place. So when I got to a stop sign, I picked up my phone and looked for the number and dialed it. Well, lo and behold, I didn't know that sitting beside me was a cop. so,
Okay.
so I just keep going. I don't see anything. I'm like on this mission, right? And then all of a sudden, all the bright lights, the red, the blue. I mean, it was like it was. I go. I know I'm not being escorted, so I must be being pulled over. And I was still oblivious. I didn't realize. I didn't even really think about it. It was just like I'm on a mission, and and I'm going. And so this cop, he gets out, he introduces himself, and I love how they posture, right? And I'm like, I go, I am so sorry. I said, I have got to find a bedside commode. And did you know that Rite Aid was closed down? And like I just launched into, I mean, like I wasn't even thinking. I was just like, he goes, have you got your driver's license and your registration? I go, oh, sure. So I handed it to him, and I said, while you're looking at, can I call Walmart to see if I can find a bedside commode? He goes, no. He goes, you just sit there. You just sit there. So I go, okay, I'm just sitting there. And then he comes back and he hands me my stuff. He goes, look, he goes, I'm not going to give you a ticket. He goes, this is a warning. Don't use your cell phone when you're driving, even if you're stopped at a stoplight. And then he goes, and Walmart has a bedside commode. I checked for you. I am so loved and served in the world, right? It's like that could have been a very big ding in my pocket. And what it ended up being was this beautiful interaction with a human that like could relate to what was happening. And wasn't just this overarching, because we get preconceived notions and judgments about people, entities, and what I find really interesting is today is about judgment in our work today. When we have preconceived notions about people and institutions and things like that, that's what shows up. I don't have that about. I was just like, I was on a mission, right? And it's like, okay, whatever needs to happen, I'm still going to find this, what I need. Right. And I was supported. I was cared about. I was supported. And it was like a blessing that happened in my life. Yes, I need to not pick up my cell phone, but I wasn't even thinking. I just like the mission was overriding any, because I try not to talk on my phone at all when I'm in the car. So, I love telling those kinds of stories because that could have been a big, huge ding in my pocketbook. Like he said, the other thing I didn't have was my insurance card. It was like, he goes, that's a $500 fine. He goes, put it on your cell phone. He says, do you want me to show you how to put an app? I go, no, I'll figure it. But it was just like, he showed up to help me. He showed up to assist me. And it was so weird because have either of you ever been pulled over by a cop?
Ages ago.
Right. But how did you feel? Like, were you scared? And
I always, even when cop cars is around somewhere, yeah, I straight away feel like I just learning driving and I have no clue what I'm doing.
Right? Exactly.
Like rabbit in headlights.
That's that fear thing, right? Right. That's fear.
So
And
my mother used to have, be driving us to certain places, and there's 9 kids in the car, and we would be saying, Mom, there's a policeman. And she'd be like, where?
Oh, that's funny. Hang on, everybody. My Spotify turned on. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah. I mean,
so she'd had 9 kids in the car?
Yeah, as though she was robbing a bank or something. Where?
I'm exactly the same. I'm exactly the same. I so many times when somebody driving behind me, I even turn different way. So I'm out of that way.
That's really funny. But see how we responded, we react. We're not even responding because there's no thought in that. That's a pure fear-driven energy, right? That's because we have a judgment about them. It's because we judge them, and we've now we've now boxed them up as, oh, they are whatever you want to fill in the blank. They're out to get me. They're going, whatever, right? So it was so interesting because I've been stopped by the cops a few times, right? I felt peace. I felt absolute peace. Even when I was being pulled over, I didn't have a fear. It was just the most bizarre experience. And I kind of think like, okay, I go like, was that like a setup, right? Because I also have fear about, everybody has fear about police. You never know, it's like we walk around like we've done something wrong, even though we haven't. That's all today's lesson. And I'm like,
okay, let's get on with our lesson then.
Let's get on with that lesson. All right. So, and everybody that's listening, I bet some of you have been stopped by the cops. Think into your feelings about that. Okay. So today is, actually it's not on judgment, it's on forgiveness, which you'll see why I thought it was on judgment. Okay. The act of forgiving reverses. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong day. Oh man, I was studying yesterday. That's okay. Let's go back to yesterday then, because that's where I'm at, because it's about judgment. No matter what we may pretend, we feel guilty and ashamed. We don't have to recognize this for it to be true. Some ideas ultimately have to be accepted. Our course teachers have no doubt learned this deeply. Now our turn has come. The test of its truth lies in how we perceive the many people in our lives. Do we feel judgmental or maybe fearful? Probably so. Our guilt is secure. So what comes next? What we have to do is recognize that our judgment is really against ourselves. We put it out there because we don't want to claim it. When we acknowledge this, however, our feelings begin to change. Compassion replaces judgment. We are changed. Thus, everyone in our world is changed when we see correctly the truth of our own guilt. We need not stay guilty. It doesn't serve us. We didn't earn it either. We created it just as we created the insane world. We can quit responding to it with a small change of mind. Nothing is stopping us but the ego. And then the affirmative for this is, do I like myself today? If I have any doubts, I'm judging myself unfairly. I can give this up. Even though I was rereading what I read, it was like so, it was like, this is what the Holy Spirit guided me to this morning to look at this, right? If we feel scared or like the guilty thing, like, oh, the cops, and it's like, what is the feeling that's coming in? Check in on that, right? Check in on that and like go, wow, is this how I want to feel? Is this, because we really are at choice when we're aware of what we're thinking and feeling. That's what awareness is all about. Becoming aware about how you react, how you respond, what you're feeling. So it's like, it was just so interesting yesterday how because I've done the same thing Dega said, it's like, oh, cop car, I'm going to go around the block, right? Like I've done something wrong and I haven't, right? And, there's other entities on the planet that we become terrified at. The IRS, the medical system, there's just so many that we can get triggered and in a fear poise over. And it's like, it's for us to change our minds about it. We don't have to accept it, even if it was put out there for us to be afraid. We don't have to accept that. And so it's for us to look at what are we feeling? Are we feeling guilty? If you're feeling guilty, then maybe some forgiveness for self is in line. Go ahead, Jeannie. I can tell you want to say something.
So I've heard that, we project our own stuff onto other people. And so when it comes to a policeman, would it be how we would treat somebody if they did something wrong?
Good question. That's, it's an interesting way to look at that. And I would probably say yes.
Yeah. I mean, if we were the cop and that was our job, would we be kind to other people? Would we be friendly?
That makes sense about what happened for me last night, right?
Right.
Because I'm moving out of kindness, and my urgency wasn't for me.
Right.
It was for someone who was in trouble and needed help, right? And it's like I'm on that mission to solve that issue. So my cop showed up as loving and kind.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. That just like, I'll go, oh, that was me.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
right.
yeah. So I love this part in here where it talks about we need not stay guilty. We need not stay guilty. I mean, you think about on the map of consciousness where guilt is, it's like right above shame, right? And what is shame above? Dead. So so we got dead, we got shame, we got guilt, right? The three lowest frequencies ever. So why would we choose to feel guilty? So I would practice, if you see a cop, how about, wait a minute, let me just rethink this. What else could I feel here, right? What else? How can I hold this human that's doing can you imagine having that job and have everybody projecting their, oh my God.
Right. But I think it's even more. I think like we need to give them compassion that we would want in their position if we were to do their job, because I think I would project my own way of being if I, that my job is to give you a ticket. So I'm giving you a ticket. I mean, like, I think I would be, I mean, I say that I think years before I would be like, very strict about giving the person a ticket, regardless of what they're saying. Now I'd be more compassionate, but it's interesting to see that I would be projecting on the policeman. Cause, last time I got stopped, I was speeding and he's pulled me over, and, I talked to him and told him where I was going and what I was doing. And he took the stuff back to his car and came back and he said, "Happy birthday." And it was my birthday. I was like, "Thank you." And he said, "Don't drive so fast," and let me go. But it was my attitude. I didn't have, I was excited about where I was going. It wasn't, I wasn't nervous or anything at all. And so I think that's a lot is about we project things on other people.
Yep.
And especially authority. Like a policeman always has authority over us in the way that they can just arrest us for anything. We don't have, it's so, there's bad situations that happen because of that, but it's, so it's about noticing where we are, like it's still our work to do if we're projecting fear or guilt or anything,
Yep. So watch what you're projecting, right? And that's why it's good to be conscious. Compassion replaces judgment. Mm-hmm. Compassion replaces judgment. I love that. We are changed, thus everyone in our world is changed. And when we see correctly the truth of our own guilt. So our job is to let go of guilt wherever it shows up. Wherever it shows up, if we find ourselves at that frequency of guilt or shame, I would say make a new choice, because we get to choose what we. That's the power of it. We sometimes people think, oh, you don't know what happened. Blah, blah. I go, but you're always at choice on how you're going to react, respond, and feel about that. You're always at choice. So what do you choose now, right? If we're looking at, I think judgment is so easy to do. It's just like, I'll go. And I know I've told this story before a long time ago on this show. Long time ago I had this dream, and I'd really been working with not necessarily judgment, but other things in my life, right? And I was really on a spiritual trajectory, and I had this dream that I'd come into this beautiful building, and there was an elevator, and I pressed the button, and the elevator took me all the way to the very top, but the very top had no roof over it. So it was just like this beautiful place, but there was no roof. So it was just like this expansiveness of space. And I was walking on a floor. I could feel that. And it felt kind of like a room, but it wasn't. It was like this, it was a space. And there were beings up there. There were all kinds of light beings, lots of them. And they weren't walking like me on the floor. They were like, when they would walk, when they step down, then they kind of do this, and then land, and then up, and then land. And they were all doing, some of them were even going up higher and making little flips and coming down. And I go, I want to do that. I was so excited in my dream. And it's like, and this one being turned to me and said, then let go of your judgment. And I woke up. From that going, oh my God, it's our judgment that keeps us from having the experiences of that lightness of being. And it's true, because think about what judgment feels like in your body. You don't have lightness of being.
And the truth of the matter is, if we're judging, we're just projecting our own stuff on other people, our shadow parts that we don't want to admit to.
Bingo.
And so it's one of the ways to stop the judgment is to own your own stuff. When you're judging, say, oh, and find it in yourself. And I've talked with people about this, and they say, oh no, that's not in me. And I can always find it, and tell them, this is where it lives in you. It's you have to dig. Sometimes you have to dig deeper, because people live on the surface, and they only want to see so much. But if you go deeper, you can find it.
Yeah, people don't want to dig or go deeper. It's dark in there, right?
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
You never know what you're going to find, right? And
right.
I say bring it on. But some people are still scared of that. I'm not scared of it anymore. Just bring it on. I want to know everything. What else? It's like
right. That's how I am.
Right. So it's like, so there's this thing about, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day, was when we've made a mistake, right? It's like, not only say I made a mistake. That's okay to make a mistake. See, that's the thing, is we don't think we can make any errors. We can't make any mistakes. We have to be perfect. But the truth is we're not. Right. And then we're guilty about it. And then we put up these masks like we are. Right. And when we do that, now we feel guilt and shame, because what we're projecting out there, that's what we're not. So it's so convoluted. The ego is just so convoluted.
Right. And to even say, like, try, even think we're perfect is a mask. Like it's because no one's perfect. We're all just human trying to do our best. And it's when we admit our mistakes, it's where the light gets in, because and people are drawn to you rather than you acting like you're perfect, because people see the falseness in that.
Yeah, and perfection is a judgment anyway.
Right.
What is perfect? Because perfect for me may not be perfect for Jeannie or Daga. We got to lose those. That's an ego thing, thinking that we're perfect or trying to be. That's a total ego cover up, big mask. We're not perfect.
Right, and when you want to be perfect, you're not doing your work. It's perfect. Perfection is just a surface way of being.
Yep. So pretense, people walk around pretending who they are all the time, pretending to be okay. Some people pretend to be okay. Sometimes people pretend to be smart. Sometimes people pretend to be dumb. We pretend to be, and we got to go back and ask ourselves, why am I doing that? It's like, where's that coming from? Be willing to excavate, be willing, and get help if you need help. You got 3 loving women here that are doing this work. And, and that's the thing. You want to find someone who's doing the work, not someone who says they've already done the work, because we're an ongoing project.
Yeah. The work is never done.
When you guys see me turn into a ball of light and ascend, then you'll know my work is done.
Yeah.
I hope it will be for some while.
I have no control over that. I have no control over that. So yesterday and this morning are just beautiful gems of one, seeing how far I have come, right? And how no fear took over me. No, I didn't feel any guilt or shame about what happened, about that. I was just in my mission, in my heart, in my goal to do something important for someone else. And it's so beautiful that previously I'd have been a messed up, shaking, scared human in my car, right? And that just was not present. Just this place of calm was there. And I know that's my willingness to just keep leaning into the Holy Spirit, that it's always there. You don't even have to ask. It just is present. And I think that, just me spending that time imbued in that and in prayer with that, it's bleeding over into my lives in these kinds of ways too, like with COP, right? So
We have few people watching us. Please come say hello in the comments, ask questions. We are here to actually answer your questions. So please say hi and ask questions.
Yeah, and do they have any experiences like what we're talking about, right? These are like real life human experiences, and I think they happen to just about everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but what I wanted to mention about this being perfect and make everybody look you perfect, this, by my opinion, it is the same programming, but at the moment they are putting up everywhere. Yeah, it's programming. You have to be perfect, otherwise nobody will accept you. Yeah, you have to have this and that, so you can show people. Yeah, it is programming. It is very heavy programming going on, that you have to be like that to be accepted in your group or whatever.
Well, it's
Go ahead, Jeannie.
I was going to say that's why it's so important to work on your authenticity and go deep on these things to find out who you are. Because I think if we buy into the advertisements and the programming and everything, it's we're dumbing ourselves down and it's giving our power away. Like we have to choose for ourselves and not because, and the thing is, and I think, you know, I don't know. I believe the world is moving away from it, but I feel like it's not about what you look like as much as who you are. And so it's I just really believe that that's the most important thing is who you are, not what you look like or what you have or what, you know, any of that. It's all immaterial because, you know, on our deathbed, it's like, did I live my authentic life at the best way I knew how, or was I caught up in the propaganda of the culture about buying things?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing that most people actually buying into all that. And we as therapists have to try bring them back to themselves, yeah?
Right. And that's what
Show them the way.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, okay, go.
I think it was more that way before. I still think we have a long way to go, but I think people are waking up to the fact that we don't need all this stuff. And I think COVID helped that we didn't need all this stuff because more people have been purging from their lives and these thrift shops and places are getting overwhelmed with stuff ever since COVID because people are not carrying stuff. That's my belief, but you know, I could be wrong.
Yeah, and that what you're talking about, that purging of the physical, right? That's a purging of the physical things we realize we don't need.
Right.
We can also do that with our feelings and our thoughts. It's like,
Absolutely.
what are the thoughts that are cluttering up your life? Like outdated clothes clutter up your closet, right? And a beautiful practice is, I call it death cleaning, right? It's probably the death of the item I'm looking at, right? I go through my closet several times a year. And the way I do this is I take out what it is and I go, do I love this? Do I love this? Does this make me feel amazing and good? If it doesn't, it's in the bag, right? And I just go through that. Now I have things in there that I've been wearing for 20, 25 years because I still love it. And it makes me feel, this shirt is like 25 years old. I love this shirt. They could bury me in this shirt. I'd be good. I love this shirt. It's comfortable. It's got it's everything I love about clothing, right? So it's like, but do it with your thoughts too. Thought watch. What thoughts are coming up and go, whoa, do I really want to be thinking that? Purge your thinking, not just your closets. Purge your thinking, purge your emotions. It's like, if you find yourself reacting with fear, please dig into that. Please dig into that, right? And because, you know, again, I'm going to say this like I've said for so many years. When we do our healing work, it's not just for us. It's for the collective of all of us. And it's like so important for us to continue I'm committed to this. You know, it's like, I'm just like, this is my commitment in my life and to my world. It's like, what's going to come up for me, I'm going to examine that. Is that a worthy thought to keep in my mind and projecting into the world? If it's not, then get rid of it. Have compassion for yourself. Stop carrying thoughts and feelings that make you feel tired, sick, shameful, guilty. Excuse me, let those things go because they don't serve you. And you're just a frequency. Oh, Dago went away. They don't serve us.
Morganne, I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. Dago went away. I don't know what happened. There she's back again.
I don't know what happened.
Dago, I can't hear you.
Hello, hello, hello.
Can you hear us now, Jeannie?
Can you
Hello,
both
hello.
hear me?
I
Yes.
hear you.
Okay.
Hear me?
No, I can't hear either of you. So I'll talk. Yesterday, I was working on my taxes, and I realized the fear that comes up with working on my taxes, because it's like Big Brother. And every year I put it off and put it off. And this year I was like, I'm going to do it. So it's just interesting because I feel like Morganne was saying that I'm working on this stuff, but I realized what I usually do when fear like that comes up is don't like put it aside and not to work with it. And, just avoid it. And so this year I started walking through my fear and just doing it one step at a time. And I think that's helping me get through it in a faster way. And because it's just fear itself. So it's just interesting how it comes up. Like we think we worked on ourselves, and then this thing comes up, and I'm just, I have work to do here.
Absolutely. And you still can't hear me. I don't know. Can you hear me, Daga?
I hear you perfectly well. I hear
That's
both
odd.
of
I
you.
don't know.
Okay. So anyway, and that's just like
Can't hear you.
What Jeannie just said is like so important, right? It's just like when whatever, what are you afraid of? Right? What are you afraid of? And then
Daga, can you hear Morganne?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
It may be on your end. Maybe you could go out and come back in.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll see if that works with her. I hear everybody just fine.
Me too.
Okay. So this whole, this, what she said was just priceless there, right? So acknowledging what you're afraid of, acknowledging what drains your energy. And I wanted to talk to about the ignoring it part, right? Put it off part, just pretend it's not there part. It is, and it's still alive in your head, and it's still alive in your body. Can you hear us now, Jeannie?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. I was talking about, yay. Okay. So I was responding to what you were talking about with when we butt up against some of this fear and we just kind of ignore it or put it aside or I'll do it later, right? We have all these strategies we do to not do the confrontation of the fear, right? But the thing is, it's still so alive in us. We're still carrying, now we're guilty and we're feeling shame. It's like all those really juicy, ugly little things that make us sick, deplete our energy, our frequency, how we show up in the world is affected by that. It's like our job right now should be really, how can I release and let go every guilt and shame experience I have in my life? How can I let that go? How can I have enough compassion and love for myself to let that go?
Yeah.
And do it. And do it, right? Do it like you do it cleaning out your closet. Do I love this thought? Is this serving me? Am I healthier because of this? Is my world better because of this? These are questions to ask. Is shame serving you? Has shame ever served you?
You know, and what I realize is you have to get to the point of getting into your feelings. What are you feeling, instead of like avoidance is just avoiding everything. And so it's like once you realize you're avoiding, say, why am I avoiding this? And what am I feeling? And shame is kind of a deeper feeling that you don't, I probably had a little shame in there that I wouldn't name, probably. Because it was just me and myself and my own stuff, But I think it's true. I think, we should go through the feelings. Am I feeling this? Am I feeling that? To really excavate that. And, because a lot of this stuff is irrational.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Isn't it just crazy how the ego, and the thing is, we created the ego. That's the really bizarre part, right? We're like at war with ourselves.
Yeah, we created it a long time ago when we were young, and to help us survive in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't serve us. What worked for us when we were younger doesn't serve us as adults.
Nope. It just really doesn't, unless it's love, and then that serves
exactly.
very well. Kindness goes as well, and we've had those experiences too. But we what I find is that we disregard the good aspects of ourselves, and then we ruminate on those lower aspects of ourselves. And I think this is a beautiful time to just celebrate the love that we are. Like, I celebrated what happened last night, right? It's like I celebrated that I was at peace. I celebrated that I was served. I was cared about. I was served. It's like, and I love what you said in the beginning. It's like, I showed up. What I gave in the world showed up for me, right? In a place where previously I had been afraid. And I just don't have that fear. It's just like, I love them. I bless them. They're doing their job, right? And if I had been a danger to someone, he should have given me a ticket, right? But I wasn't. And he knew that. Yeah. So yeah, watch how your world transforms when you begin to do this kind of beautiful work. It does transform. Bring compassion to yourself and bring compassion to especially cops out there. Man, they got a bad rap. Some of them deserve a bad rap, but most of them do not. And it's just kind of like saying, it's like, can dogs bite? Sometimes dogs bite. Do all dogs bite? No, right? It's like we tend to clump things together and then name it something, and then we name it usually something wrong or bad or that. And instead, how about we start naming it good? How about we start naming it helpful? It's like, just change the thought. That's what Course in Miracles is all about, right? You get to choose to change how you think and you feel. You're not a victim to those lower thoughts unless you want to be, and you say you are.
Okay, so I got a question here. What about war?
What about it?
It's not a good thing, because the people that have the argument about it, who are wanting the war, are not the ones fighting in the war. And
That's
so
right.
There's a lot of people that are hurt by war, that are innocent, that don't have, like, a lot of civilians, a lot of people, and people go in, talking about brainwash to go into war. you know, it's the
Okay,
soldiers.
I apologize. We're going in a very dangerous.
Oh, for you too.
Okay.
But what I
All
do,
right, thank you.
I will comment on that, right? What I
Right.
want to say is that humans have a consciousness of war. We've been in a warring consciousness for a long time, whether that was programmed in us or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's our responsibility to release it. Let me ask everyone, have you got warring thoughts within your mind? Have you got conflict within your own being? Because until we clean that up, until then that's going to be reflected back to us. Everything, it's kind of like the cop story, right?
Right.
I didn't have the energy of fear about this human, right? I just didn't. It wasn't there. It's same thing with war. When we began to realize that one, we've been hoodwinked about being drawn into wars, right? When we wake up and just and that's that people are understanding that now. It's not everyone, but some people are beginning to understand that we've been brought into wars to fill up some people's pockets, right? They say every war is a banker war. That's okay on YouTube.
No, it's not okay with so many times saying this word, please.
Yeah. So when we gotta watch my words. I hate, see, there's programming right there. You can't say what you want to say. What?
That's because, that's because we will be get out of opportunity to actually say something, anything here.
Yeah.
But what I loved about that, Morganne, was when you said, where's the war in us?
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful, you know, because, you know, it's the judgment, and it's coming back to us and cleaning ourselves out, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
and creating a higher vibration within ourselves
Yep.
before we can see it in the world.
Yep. Absolutely. It all is, we say there is no other. It's just us. So what are you looking at? Right?
Right.
What are you seeing, right? What are you projecting out there? Let's let's take some responsibility for that. And I love that word, responsibility. It's the ability to respond. It's not knee-jerk reaction.
Right.
And I think that a lot of humans go right into, and that's a fear-driven, guilt, shame-driven reaction. And watch reactions. Go and do some purging of your own thinking and your own feeling. And so why don't we do a little exercise on that right now, since we're coming to the end of the show and you didn't
No
know?
meditation today.
Huh?
No meditation today.
Yeah, we're going to do that right now.
Okay.
You want to do that right now?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Oh my goodness, everyone. I'm just so happy that you're all participating in this conversation. This is such a worthy conversation. And I know that everyone's heard this message from us in all kinds of different ways. And I'm just really asking you to just open your heart and your mind to these words and do your own purging, do your own cleansing. So we're gonna begin with this whole concept of forgiveness. So I'm going to invite everyone to just, let's close out the world by closing your eyes. And as you're doing that, take a beautiful breath in. And just let those beautiful eyelids close over your eyes, closing out the world, the image of the world. And take another beautiful breath in and just allow yourself to move within yourself. And allow yourself to allow my voice to be what you hear for right now. And even then, let my voice fade away. Nothing on the outside, only you, your inner being, your inner self. And just take a breath in. And this whole piece that we read about earlier on forgiveness. What does that even bring up for you? Just that word. Forgiveness. And breathe through that. Just be present to the whole concept of forgiveness. What do you believe about forgiveness? What have you been taught about forgiveness? Take a breath in. And I'm going to invite each of us to bring up one thing, just one, we want to be forgiven for. Where we seek, where do you seek forgiveness? For something you've done, something you've thought? Where in your life? And just think about that for a moment. Where do you hold that unforgivingness in your body? When we need forgiveness, where is the unforgiveness living inside of you? Go locate that. Where you feel unforgiven, where you feel shame, where you feel guilt. And notice how you're feeling. Notice where it resides. And notice what happens to your energy when you go there. Take a breath in. And let that breath out slowly and just relax, because recognition is the first step. Oh, I see you. I see where the unforgiveness is. Can you choose to replace that unforgiveness with forgiving yourself through compassion? Compassion. Love. Can you forgive yourself? Can you let that go? Can you excavate that? Can you purge that unforgiveness from your being? Take a breath in. And remember that it is just energy. So when we let that energy go, and do that with that breath out now, let it go. Did something change? Just check in. Are you feeling a little lighter? Are you having a lightness of being? Is there still heaviness within you? Check in. If there is, take a breath into that. And when you're ready, let it go with the breath. Release all heaviness. Release the shame. Allow yourself some compassion. And invite everyone to take some time today to list and think about this concept of forgiveness. And ask yourself, who can I forgive today? Who can I forgive today? And maybe it's yourself. Maybe it's your parents that sometimes we blame for everything about our lives. Please let them rest. Let it go. Take breaths into it. No matter what your parents might have done to you, said to you. So some people just got a really bad experience, but yet that was our experience to have. Let it go. Let it go. Because holding on to anger or shame or guilt or any of that affects you, affects your health, affects your thinking, affects your feeling, affects everything in your life. Sweep it clean. Sweep your beautiful body temple clean. Sweep your beautiful mind clean. Sweep your heart clean. Take a breath in. Fresh breath. Release that breath, releasing all the old. And I invite you to move back into your heart. And just notice how maybe your energy has changed. Are you feeling more relaxed and at peace? It's okay to feel those things. I invite you to feel relaxed. I invite you to feel peace. And just keep bringing your conscious awareness back to your breath. Stay focused in your heart. And in this, I know the presence of the Holy Spirit that is alive within me is alive within every person here. And I know the presence of the Holy Spirit is right now assisting each and every one of us to show us exactly where we need to release and let go what no longer serves us. And so gently it does that. And if we find any difficulty, just lean into the Holy Spirit and say, this is yours. I give it to you. And then watch what magic happens when you do that. Take a breath in. And let that breath go. And so as we know the presence of the Holy Spirit is alive in every one of us, I invite you to become awake and aware of the presence of the Holy Spirit within you. And invite that consciousness into all aspects of your life. Ask for guidance. Ask for love. Ask for peace. And those doors open wide for you. Put your thought and your attention in those higher aspects. Breath in. Breath out. And as we settle one more time into our heart, the very center of our being, where the presence of the Holy Spirit is there to guide us, guard us, protect us, I release us all this day to go do this beautiful work. This beautiful work of releasing and finding those areas that have kept us held back. This is a glorious day. This is a beautiful day. As we are unaffected by what people think, how they try to direct us, we come back to ourselves and to the only guiding principle that's true for us, which is the Holy Spirit, our higher self, the presence of God in our lives, as our lives, through our lives. So with that, dear ones, I love you all. I bless you all in this great work you're going to be doing, releasing and letting go what doesn't belong, and inviting in all the love, the compassion, the peace, the joy that you could possibly stand. And so it is. I love you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you,
Thank
Morganne.
you, Morganne. Jeannie, do you want to say something?
Thanks for everybody that's listening, and thank you, ladies. Wonderful to be with you.
Thank you, everybody who is listening now and who will be listening. Please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channels so we can be reaching out for more people to hear all this beautiful wisdom. And see you next week. God bless.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.